gym, in jeans.
A new entrant in the content marketing space, 26-year-old denim brand Spykar focuses its content around music and fashion. Recently, Spykar and rap artist Broadway came together to create the anthem Young and Restless. Buzzin Content caught up with Sanjay Vakharia, CEO, Spykar Lifestyle, to talk about the brand's strategy around music content, power of UGC, and recent trends in the content marketing space. How serious is the brand on the content marketing front?
We know that Spykar's primary consumer is the young guy, or the girl rather. And today, this generation is so much online that there's no escape for anybody who actually wants to address this audience, not to be online and not to use content marketing as one of the tools to reach out to them. So Spykar's very, very, very serious about it, and we have taken quite a few steps towards it. And a lot more is in the offing.
What are the kind of restrictions does a lifestyle brand faces in terms of creation of branded content?
I don't think it's always very prudent to do very direct communication, which is related to the category that you are present in. It's more so ever kind of, you need to create content which kind of relates to your audience. It may not be necessarily clothing oriented or lifestyle oriented. So from that perspective, if I kind of touch base with my audience through a variety of areas that probably he or she aspires to, then my task is done. So an answer to your question would be no, I don't think really it limits me. What limits me actually is I cannot go beyond the 4 or 5 general parameters that kind of I define my audiences by.
How has Spykar leveraged fashion and music to its utmost advantage through content?
So fashion and music both have been very eternal. It's been present all through that we know of things being present. So, and especially for the young audiences, these two are very close to their heart. And I think there's a great fusion which is possible over there. And we try to optimize this relationship between fashion and music as much as we can. We did a small effort with Broadway also, and that was a launch of one of our products over there, which has worked well for us. So basically, I think it's kind of, these are two environments which are so native to the audiences that it just doesn't, it kind of is very seamless.
Do you think content can be best utilized on digital versus other mediums?
The opportunity to talk to the audiences through digital is a lot more. The mediums now which are developing on digital are quite more. From a conventional medium, there are fewer mediums. And at some point of time, it became quite expensive to really speak to your audiences through those mediums. Though I would say content was always there, and as the adage goes, content is always the king. But yeah, there were fewer opportunities in the conventional medium. So for brands which are smaller or probably newer, it was really difficult for them to get onto the conventional mediums as much as it's easier now and possible now for them to get onto the digital medium.
How much potential do you see in TikTok as a medium? Would the platform's recent fiasco affect its brand's partnerships?
In fact, we've actually explored and exploited TikTok sometime back in one of our activities that we had done. What we are now doing is we are kind of using influencers who are big on TikTok to actually create content for us on Insta. So the association with TikTok still stays. It may not be so direct as being on TikTok. It's just that there are some mediums who probably do not garner as much repute, or they lose their repute over a period of time.
Brands are increasingly ditching YouTube and Facebook for OTT and niche platforms. How do you judge this shift in content distribution strategy of brands?
So as in when Facebook and your other mediums get a little more exploited, they're going to become expensive. At the same time, it's going to be so for a lot of brands who dwell on innovation and are very creative in their ways of reaching out to their audiences, there's this whole unsatiated appetite for them to create new different ways of reaching out. So we are also part of them, and I think creating branded content along with peer brands is one of the way ahead, I feel, and Spykar is quite keen to explore that and exploit that as well. So there's so much and more happening on branded content space, and I think enough and more platforms are coming up for people to exploit. So
Spykar bets a lot on UGC through Instagram. What kind of ROI does it fetch for the brand?
So I believe that ROI is not always calculated in rupee terms, and if that's the truth, I think UGC is one of the best mediums on with respect to ROI. It's great because there's somebody who's taken out time for your brand and put you so much up there as far as his priorities are concerned, and he's creating content for your brand. So what more do you want? I mean, you always seek for people who will devote so much time and effort towards your brand. So I think ROI is like a little more, it's an abused term today, but you need to have people who are really strongly behind you, and hence ROI is in some ways not really always materialistic.
Republic TV presents Engage, a video interview series brought to you by Buzz in Content.